make it like a C curve, like this shape. Follow your stroke like that to show the bushes are, make this space. And then let me put this aside. And I don't want to let it dry because I want to show these are fade into the sky. Right away, I clean my brush with napkin and move on with this darker purple. And try to follow from here and make the edges disappear. These are 4 bushes that we can see here on our painting. And when I want to make it disappear, very gently touch the edges with this color like that. Even if it's start to get dry, again, back to this dark tone and bring it into purple. Work with both color to help these edges disappear. And less pressure I add on my brush. Okay, and then move on with the lighter tone. Again, we need to help this purple color be fade and not make any edges. But you know, if you work on wood, it's totally so fast get dry. When you apply it, get dry. But it not happen the same for canvas. Because of that, I need to take both color, the light tone and immediately the darker tone, and bring it into the light to help these two fade into together, disappear and blend, to show this foggy sky and the depth of the landscape. The new color that I would like to make is purple mixed with cobalt blue or ultramarine you have. Premix these two. This is a bright and shiny color. We need to make it a little cool. So a tiny bit brown, I will bring it to make it cool, but I think it's dark. Really tiny bit, very less white can help us a little bit get it lighter, but not much. Even I think I need more. You can mix with blue to help your brown get darker. So these two colors. Back of the palette knife. So we take our paint by one side, but we lay down our palette knife like that to help everything move on the surface. So I would like to draw the road. The road is on distance is a light, and then move down and get darker. So I take my light blue color with one side of palette knife like that. This is the palette knife, any shape. You can lay it down like this. Take some paint. It's come by one side or one edge of the palette knife like that. And then we lay down this part on the surface, like here. We would like to make this line lighter. You can draw the line like that and put your paint here, or you can move your palette knife like this and bring it down. So again, we can repeat it. This is the shape of palette knife. We bring a little, turn it toward the edges, put in a paint, take your paint with one edge, so it can take like that. Then we need to put it on a surface. We would like to draw the line, so I move it like this to draw the line with the paint. Even you can again back and repeat this line, or even you can lay down a little bit the palette knife toward the bottom part like that and help it lay down and take the paint to the surface. It's like this, the road is like that, so you can easily lay down, hold your palette knife on the surface and try to apply your paint set here. Don't worry about the shape of road, you can do it easily, and then the leaves will come on top and cover it. So again, back the same color, take it with one side, bring it here and try to move it, your palette knife, move the palette knife everywhere here to bring it down. Even pure purple, I think it's interesting to bring it here and let it like this, like a line. I would like to make here a little lighter, so I move into the pure light blue color that I have, adding on top of my road. It's interesting, bring some different tone here. Don't force yourself by just the premix that you did. You can bring some pure blue here, small stroke, and then pure purple beside that with heavy texture. And sometimes you need to hold your palette knife to lay down, sometimes just half of it, and it works with your pressure, hand pressure, same as before. Take your paint, but please take your palette knife like that. The line should be like this angle, and a little bit move it, put it here, just a tiny bit, move it like that. And it doesn't need to cover everything. It's okay, even half of it be visible, half not. And we will bring some leaves on top of it. Even I am not happy with the one that I draw on the stance. It's really dark. I like this one better. So I clean my palette knife again, back to the blue color, bring with the tip of palette knife. I can make it fading like this, disappear. And it happens sometimes your paint is start to get finished, and the line shouldn't be really straight and accurate because the trees is not like that. And always clean the back of your palette knife and then take the other paint. If you want to have narrow line, you don't need to take heavy paint, very less paint, please take. And then even you can turn your surface on the way that it's more easy and comfortable for you. Draw very gently some narrow line from bottom to the top. So start take your paint from one side, put it here, a little lay down, and just bring it, move it like that toward the left. It depends how much thickness you would like to have on your trunk tree. You can move a little more or less. On the bottom part, most of the time I prefer to have a thicker line, but when I move up, it's okay to make it narrow. And even if you draw a hole, your trunk tree a little thick and you're not happy with, don't worry about it. We will cover it by leaves. And here it's dark orange. I need more yellow to apply. This is the orange color I want. I have yellow. I have green, brown, and I don't need to premix more. I just go for the pure paint that I have. It's more easy to go with a smaller palette knife this time and shape the leaves, but if you have just one size or bigger size, I will work with both to show you how you can do that. So I start with the yellow to cover here. Pure yellow, I take with the tip of my palette knife like that, and then very gently add on the surface and try to small stroke make this shape. With the tip of palette knife, It doesn't matter actually small or big. It's more easy to small with the small, but I go with both to show you. Just small stroke like this. Even with the bigger size, you can do the same with a tip. Take and apply, move it. How you can shape like that? By just place your tip of palette knife on a surface and then bring your hand up. Take your hand up and then try to lay down just this part of your palette knife on a paper, or sorry, on a canvas, not whole. Just a tiny bit. And you see I covered the trunk tree, actually the branches. Even I add this part, I can cover it like that. And because of that, I mentioned don't be worried about anything. You can cover any surface that you're not happy with it by leaves. Try to shape it like this, and then let me bring it close to camera. You can see how they're heavy and they have a texture. And the other things, because yellow is so transparent, it's not opaque. Sometimes we need more heavy paint, more amount of yellow to try cover everything. And then you can apply with the orange color. Here is more lighter orange. It's not really dark. We can mix more yellow with it and you can cover it. Even the trunk tree, you can cover it. It's not all the trunk tree visible. Some of them it's covered by leaves. By the shape of leaves, it's just need this part of palette knife, the small part. I take heavy paint easily and I try to help it move on my canvas. Make sure not cover everything. We need to have a sky, the blue part of the sky be visible in between of orange and yellow part, but not a lot. Just a little bit, it's nice to be visible. Like this. And very, very less pressure, just very gently try to help this paint sit on your surface. Then move it like this to place it somewhere, shape it just with the tip, just play with it to move it everywhere. This is one technique.
Okay.
The other, take your paint with the tip of your palette knife and try to, let me put it here, and try to do like this. Just touch by this part, you see,
Okay.
you can
Yes.
turn your hand up and down, and then just the tip has a paint. You can do it like this. For this section, which is a little bit, it's like it's not like a leaf, it look like bushes. So you can use whole your palette knife to lay down. I take my darkness, I bring it like that, I move it like this. I just lay down and move it like that. Even for the tip, which is lighter, I can add look like leaves. But for the bottom part, it's okay to lay down and bring it down, bring it on top. And then in between, we need the orange color, but the orange color that we use for here, it's not the leaves. It's the leaves that fall down on a and lay down on the road. So you can take your orange like that with a tip or one with the whole part of your palette knife, and the same as the road that you make, you can do like this. It's more easy. Bring it on the road, or here even you can add a little bit reddish brown in between the orange color that I mentioned, and you can do not all of them heavy paint. You can make it a little flat or make a heavy paint. Both we need it. And we need to bring a little bit inside the road as well. For inside the road, we need to use it as with a tip. Just like the leaf, brings tiny bit like that inside the road and leave it. Then continue to bring some leaf to the center of the road. Just a tiny bit, like a leaf. Some brush stroke or palette knife stroke with the tip, like this, tiny bit. Bring it to the center. And then leave it dry.